Hello. So this Friday, March 27th, Pennsylvania has identified as Social Emotional Learning Day. That's wonderful. I've had the privilege of being involved in social emotional learning before it even had a name. We used to call it humanistic education and values clarification and affective education back in the late 60s and early 70s. Through the time of character education, and now we have evolved into social emotional learning. And the wonderful research that's been done by organizations like CASEL, the Collaborative for Academic Social Emotional Learning, and Search Institute with their 40 developmental assets, and Aspen Institute with abundant research on how our brain works and our incredible need for connection, and Brene Brown's work on connection and vulnerability and transparency. Social emotional learning is abundant in our schools throughout Pennsylvania, throughout the Middle Atlantic states, and growing throughout the United States. It's been my privilege, individually, and our privilege as an organization, to work with so many wonderful school districts, tremendously committed administrators, teachers, counselors, special educators, coaches, support staff, and students. Ultimately, it's always about our students, those wonderful young voices and those wonderful young leaders that we need their help with now in these challenging times, and their help every day. Social emotional learning is first and foremost about self-awareness. Taking a moment to breathe, pause, reflect and be mindful about what we know about ourselves, how we think, what we feel, and being aware of those feelings allows us to reach out and make connection with others. As Brene Brown says, we are hardwired for connection. Self-management. How do I recognize and then manage all the mix of social and emotional experiences I'm having? Self-regulation. How do I say no to that chocolate donut? I'm still working on that one. The ability to regulate what we say, how we say it. Can I communicate a no with love and respect? Can I communicate fear and reach out to others and let them know that I need them? As we move into that critical social emotional learning skill of social awareness, compassion, taking my love for other human beings and putting it into action. Empathy, risking to feel with another human being. And we are in such great need of feeling with each other right now, not to distance emotionally, although we are distancing socially. We must continue to connect emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And we must allow ourselves to understand and welcome all of our exquisite human differences, those that may look differently than I do, those that may speak differently than I do, those that may not have the resources that I have. Everyone is human, and this is especially a time that we must remember each other's humanity and in that humanity know that kindness is always necessary. And then, of course, we look at the social emotional competency of relationship building. How do I reach out? How do I reach out right now? Over social media? Over other technologies and tools? Where I would previously reach out with my hand. How can we reach out and let each other know we care? Pick up a telephone, send a text, send an email, send a brief video or podcast. We must stay connected. Human beings need connection for survival. This is a time we're challenged to not only survive, but find ways to thrive, to connect and build relationships, even in these challenging times. And then we take all four of those competencies and we look at the fifth competency in social emotional learning, responsible decision making. Can we be women and men of integrity, walking our talk, doing our best to make responsible decisions, own those decisions? I love the word responsibility, and I love to break it into two parts. Response-ability, the ability to respond in whatever life throws at us. Right now, life is throwing at us the coronavirus. And our ability to respond allows me to think of mentors and role models. I think of Dr. Viktor Frankl, who survived Nazi Germany and concentration camps. And he said, the last of all human freedom is to choose one's response in any set of circumstances. Ultimately, every choice we make is a powerful response to what's going on in our world and in our individual lives. We need to be aware of making those choices and being responsible through first self-awareness, then self-management. Being aware socially, developing trusting relationships, and acting as men and women of integrity. Thank you for joining me and helping us all celebrate Social Emotional Learning Day today and every day. Thank you.